Good evening, guys. Trade It can be live with you, and today I'll be showing you my trade breakdown so far for this week. So currently, this will be my first time I'll be doing this. This is my first week, and as you all know, I'm a basic price action trader. I trade off basically the supply and demand neckline and from the zones using chart patterns as my entry. So every week, continuously from now, I'll be showing you all the trade breakdowns I took for this week. I'll be doing the videos. You'll be seeing these videos every Saturday. So I'll be posting my chart breakdowns and what I expect the market to do next week. And also that, so you guys will be getting those particular content from me as of now. So sit back, watch, and relax. So right here for this week that just finished now, I had three particular trades. This first one on Monday, this trade on Wednesday, and this trade on Thursday. So now for this trade I had on Monday, this particular trade right here, and if you can see this of now, some people ask me why did I take this trade, right? So let's go over to the 4 hours. So we going over to the 4 hours. I had my 4 hours plotted out, right? This is my 4 hours plotted out here. I'm sure tons of questions be asking why did I plot my zone, my 4 hours zone here, and all that and all that. I'll explain in another video next time, or those in my private community, they'll know much about it. So this right here is a 4 hour zone for me. And if you go down to the 1 hour, because I plot out my zones on the 1 hour, the 4 hours, sometimes on the 1 day and the 1 week to just know the bias. For the 1 day and the 1 week, I plot out those zones to know the bias, but mostly I trade off using the 1 hour and the 4 hour zone. So going over to the 1 hour zone, now we can see it picture clear right here that we have a 1 hour zone right here, right? This particular zone side. And when I woke up in the morning around London section, if you can check on 15 minutes, you could see basically that price broke this 4 hours on right here, and it came to create something like a low, then it went up to retest here. And this right here is my entry pattern for a continuation of the trend. You get, so what mostly I'm always looking out for. Let me use diagram to draw it out. So from a zone, this here is a zone. If price was buying up to the zone, I'm looking out for something like this, most cases, and I want to see a drop. And if price is buying from this zone and it breaks it, so most times I'm looking out for something like this, and I want to continue the pattern. So this right here is my neckline, and this right here, I also call it my neckline. You understand? And in some cases now, this particular trade might break it up and start dropping down. This is now where I'll now start using the candlestick confirmation. I'm going to show you guys in the chat. You see this now. So for this week, as you all can see this, after I saw this, now if you can look at this, you can see this big, long, bearish candle. This already told me that this is going to be a sell continuation path for it. And I entered, I'm an instant market execution trade. I placed all my trade on instant market execution. When I saw this candlestick breaking this and the bearish candle was long, I entered immediately on the second candlestick, which you can see right here. And I'm always a 1:2 trader. So this is, I'm risking 50 pips here to get 100 pips, which the market sold to this 1 hour zone. And right here, I think on my account, I set break even. So I wasn't losing anything. When I saw price coming to this 1 hour zone to react here, I didn't lose anything. I had to set break even because I always respect all zones. One thing I've noticed about gold is I gold respect all zones. So I've always been respecting all the zones. You get, price can come here, like you can see this previous price came towards this zone. And as it sold, it formed a what? A W pattern. Now, if I wanted to take these buys, it's like a very big good price when you can see the W pattern in form there. So I know that price always respects all zones. And you can see this particular week went down, but it did not show a very strong bearish candle for me to know this to be a continuous pattern. You can see this right here, right? So as price came to retest on this 1 hour zone, I had to set break even on my live accounts. You will see the before charts of on this trade. Then after this trade, I didn't spot anything out on Tuesday. Then fast forward to Wednesday, when if you check on the 1 hours 2 on Wednesday, I had some field zones down there because this particular day on Wednesday was quite confusing for me. So if you can check on Wednesday, you see that I have some few zones that, okay, there's also another 1 hour zone down here that I didn't plot out. So this 1 hour zone right here, right? So now what can we see? We can see that I plotted out this 1 hour zone, this also 1 hour zone, and this 1 hour zone right here. Then most times when I'm taking my trade off 1 hour zone, I always go to the 5 minutes to spot out my entry. So for this particular 1 hour zone trade I took, I went to the 5 minutes to spot out my entry. And most times when I take my trade off the 15 minutes, I always go to the, or if I take my trade off the 4 hour zone, I always go to the 15 minutes to spot my entry. So you guys can see this right here. What can we notice? We notice that off this first 1 hour zone, we can see price went to tap on it with a wick. As price went to tap on it with a wick, immediately we saw a push down. Now this push down should have continued to form a M pattern here for me to start selling. But instead, the next candlestick was a bullish, long bullish candlestick. And you can see up this was now my neckline. You can see this is a continuation bullish pattern for me. And I entered immediately off the next candlestick. The reason why it's showing here is because of the spread on the plot firm. So I entered immediately off the next candlestick. And as you can see this particular trade, since I'm always a 1:2, you can see it. I was using, oh, sorry. I was using 50 pips to get 100 pips. And you can see that as the market came down to stop me out with a wick. Definitely, I'll also show you the before and after of this particular chart. The market came to stop me with a wick, and it went, I'll show you when I place this entry on this trade. The market came to stop me with a wick, and it went up back to my TP. You can see this. So I hit loss on this particular trade on gold. This was on Wednesday, right? So one break even, one loss, and the loss is minus 1%, right? Then fast forward to on Thursday, when you had this beautiful trade right here. So on Thursday, the zones, let's go to the 4 hour zone to look at where I took that trade from. So on Thursday, I took this trade off the 4 hour zone right here that we can see it. If you go over to the 1 hour, you spotted that there was also a 1 hour zone right here, but I wasn't paying much attention to it. I was paying much attention to this 4 hour zone. And now since we begin to the 15 minutes, since it's from the 4 hour zone, I was looking at the reaction from. We can see price came to react on these 4 hours here. And what? It formed the M pattern and started selling. But the sales were not long enough to go to the other zone. So if I was to take these sales, let's see, calculating this up from here, just 40, maximum 50 pips, I would have been seeing that. But this is not a value trade I'm looking at. So I saw a continuation pattern going up. When I saw that this market isn't breaking this particular zone at all here, when I saw that the way this market was moving, I knew this was going to give me a bias. So what did I wait for? Since price has come to react here, I don't need market to come and react back on this 1 hour zone. All I just want the market to do is from off this particular neckline here. And what can we see? A very long bullish candlestick before the next entry. You can see it. My entry was next on this. And from this entry, we can see that price came down to retest back on this neckline before it started going back up to my table. Definitely, you also see the before and after of this chart. I'm going to post it because I took this trade. And these were the only 3 particular trades I took for this week. Now, I'm sure to an extent, it's not quite well organized because this is the first time of me trying this, and definitely within time I'll be getting better. So since we've seen the particular trade I took for this week that just passed us by, we'll be moving all drawings and let us plot out new zones. So definitely plot out these zones with me. So how are we going to be plotting out these zones now? We want to be looking at all the 4 hours reaction that's happening. And starting off from here, this right here is my first zone I'll be looking out for. And I'm going to write 4H for the 4 hour. And I'll be cloning this to plot this out. So the top side too will also be a zone I'm looking out for. Then after that, I'll be looking out for this particular zone has already been, the market price has come to react on that zone. You can see it right on this 4 hours zone, the price has come to react. So these are the 3 top zones I should be looking at here. Then also, I'll be looking at on this 4 hours zone quite here. Now, what can we see on this 4 hours zone? For those of us that traded NFP on Friday, would see that this particular week was a sell down to a 1 hour zone around this before it started buying massively and it bought up to this zone. So after we've plotted out our zones on the 4 hours, which you can see it quite clearly here, we'll be going over to the 1 hour to plot out our zones too. So the zones on the 4 hours, I always call them the major zones for me. And the zones on the 1 hour, I call them the minor zones. That is a minor lookout point I should be looking out on go. So this right here is the first zone I'm looking at. And I'm going to be calling this the 1H, which is the 1 hour. Then after that, I'll be cloning it to look at, you can see the place I told you at down here that price came to sell out during NFP. This was 2 p.m. time. And as price came to sell out to this, I started buying up. So I'm looking at that place too as a zone. And also, I'm looking at this downside too as a zone. And we'll have to look back of our charts to check, is there any zone towards that side? Now you can see that same on the 4 hours, it looks same thing on the 1 hour. Same on the 4 hours, same thing on the 1 hour. Same on the 4 hours, it's the same thing on the 1 hour. So most times these zones are always alike. So I don't want my chart to be looking much more bogus and packing a lot of zones. But I think I can see another zone of another 1 hour zone, which is around this side here. So the next 1 hour zone is around this side here. And like I said, I trade what I see, not what I think. You understand? So I cannot now be saying I want this market to sell here and be doing that, I'm doing that. No. What I trade is whatever reaction the markets come to. Now, these markets can come and do something like this, react on this side, and now form something like a W on the lower time frame and buy up here. I don't care. My own is once I see a reaction on the zone, either this type of reaction or I see this type of reaction on the zone, a breakout and something like this, I definitely know that I am going to be taking the trade. This is what I am seeing, and this is my reaction I'm noticing and witnessing of those zones. You get. So now that we've plotted all the zones on the 1 hour, on the 4 hours, then definitely we are going to wait for market to open on Monday and for us to look at whichever price that market wants to come and tap in and play out whatever it wants to play out. So now this 4 hour zone that was plotted out here, since we know that price has already come to react there, we don't want our chart to be looking very confusing. We are going to delete this zone out, right? Once you see price has come to react on some zones, you just delete it out. So now if you go to the lower time frame, you see that you have a very clear picture. But before, the zone was blocking us here and can be confusing us. It can be giving us some wrong bias because of too many zones that has been tapped already and we still left them on our chart, right? So now right here is a very clear chart for me. And definitely what I am expecting this market to do, if I also expect the market to do something, I'm expecting the market to do something like this now. So from the period of 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m., on the market come back to this 1 hour zone and form the W pattern and sell either to this 1 hour zone or to this side. So either it sells down here or it's selling from here down to this other zone. Okay, so this is what I expect the market to do. But like I say, I trade what I see, not what I expect. So the market might not play this. The market can break up and go to the next one. You understand? So now we've plotted out our zones for next week. For this new week that is coming on gold, and definitely that would be all for our chart breakdown for this first week. And this is our first episode. And continuously, guys, I'll be dropping this continuously every weekend. So every Saturday, be expecting to see a chart breakdown of my previous trade I took for that week, and also of me plotting out the new zones I'm going to be observing for the next week. So thank you guys for watching this. Have a nice day.